This is my 1989 Jeep Comanche. I've liked these since I was in high school, so I building it up. I got a new motor, and then now I'm getting it ready to paint, so I can hopefully paint it tomorrow. I'm done. Ready for another coat of primer and then a wet sand and start painting. My earliest memories are when with my dad's truck, and I was probably 6 or 7. I can remember I would take my bicycle out there and turn it upside down, and he'd be working on his truck. We didn't have a garage, it would just be out in the driveway. He'd be working on his truck here, and I'd put my bicycle here, and I'd turn it upside down, and I'd lube the chain with grease, and just watch my dad work on his truck. We had an MG midget. We painted that when I was little, and I would just go out, and we didn't have an air compressor, so I would just take a little sanding block. It's like the size of this, and a piece of wet dry sandpaper because I didn't know any better, and I'd just take the hose and I'd trickle it on, and I'd take my shirt off. I'd just like in junior high, get tan, and just sit out there for hours with like 400 or 600 grit sandpaper, and they're like 3 coats of paint, and I spent the whole summer. Now I'm finishing with 180. We use a lot more aggressive sandpapers. There's a lot better technologies now. It goes really fast. Sometimes it's not fun, but you just want to see it done. You want to see what it's like when it's done, and you just can imagine driving it. Not so much now at this point, but when I was younger, it's like, I can't wait. I get this hot rod done, and I can drive it to high school. So there was a lot of work that went into it and patience, and then you got to achieve your goal. As a young man, it's hard to talk to your dad or your mom, but if you can just spend time just with them and not have to talk about hard things or deal with anything, you just can be there, and you can even just talk about this project. It's worked well with my kids. It's a big deal for me. It got me through some hard times when I was young. Like school would be hard, or you'd have hard relationships with friends or something, but you could always just go in the garage and hang out. So the grit comes with getting that stuff done, so you can spend some time doing it. And I think it's that way with any hobby that you like. It's your way to get out of life and check out a bit, and kind of ground yourself to something that's real, and be able to feel good about something that you complete. This is my paint booth that I built. It's downdraft, so the air comes from the ceiling from these filters that brings clean air in, and then it goes out through the floor. There's some pipes and a big fan outside. And then it filters. I got to change this so I can spray tomorrow. I've primered, and I just got to block sand them and start seeing any dings or dents and fix them. They're pretty good. The best thing to do is just don't be afraid to try it. My motto has always been, if I can't fix it, someone else can. So tear apart an engine. Don't ruin your daily driver, but don't be afraid to try something. That's how you learn. A lot of this is just trial and error. We didn't get this heavy into body work when I was a kid, or motors or anything like that. So my dad was a really good mechanic. So same thing, if I tore something apart and couldn't figure it out, he would be able to put it back together. Or you have a friend that can do it. But don't be afraid. I think a lot of people get afraid to just try, look for an electrical problem, track it down, read a wiring diagram. Just try it. How good you might be at it.
Thanks so much.